Hey guys, it is the 20th September and the global climate strike is on today for the Southern Hemisphere, and I thought it was the perfect opportunity to go through a whole horde of rubbish and recyclables that I have from myself and my clients. I wanted to show you the best way to sort these and what to look out for, seeing as recycling really is back in our own hands until your own shire comes up with a better solution. Also, I wanted to say, don't take a government body's word for it. Try to do the research yourself and find out exactly where your recycling is going and if in fact it is being recycled, not just sorted and stored. And first and foremost, look to reduce and reuse before you rely on recycling. Plastics. I have a bag here of soft plastics that I have sorted through, and they're clean soft plastics, so they're scrunchable, and these guys get recycled by Red Cycle, which you can find bins at Coles and Woolworths in Australia. You need to make sure that if you've had any food in it, like this is a tofu bag, and that's fine as long as I wash it out and dry it. You need to make sure that there are no remnants of food left in there. If you're looking at things like Glad Wrap, obviously, that's been peeled off a meat container, that's going to go in landfill because it's pretty much impossible to spread it out, clean it and dry it. I, at this stage, haven't found any research to say that post bags are being recycled, so if I was you, I'd stay away from those and ask any of the online distributors to send stuff in non-plastic or home compostable bags. Paper, cardboard and glass. So if you're doing, and tin and aluminium. So if you're doing tin and aluminium, these are like cans, make sure they're washed out and they're clean, and I'll go to the effort of taking that paper label off. Basically, whatever you can do to make it easier for those recycling companies means that you're not going to contaminate their recycling system and more things will get recycled. Anything like this, take that, pull the aluminium strip off, that would go with paper and cardboard. Same as this one. Had a lot of questions about these recyclable containers. They are recyclable, but at very few depots. For example, Visi will recycle this as long as you take it to their Laverton depot, which is about an hour away. Because of this, I decided a while ago that I'm no longer going to buy nut milks. I make my own. I got plastic bottles. I recently saw an update that said that 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, marked bottles are being recycled. Again, I would say just don't take their word for it. Do the research, find out exactly where it's going and how it's being recycled. The other alternative is, if you can't recycle this guy, reuse it for something. For example, I'll punch some holes in the lid and use it to water some of my seedlings. The other thing too is a lot of schools collect things like these bottle caps and the tags off bread bags to be used for projects. Another great way to reuse and reduce. You've then got glass bottles. We found out that glass bottles are now being recycled again, broken down and used as a sub-layer under roads, which is awesome. But what I suggest doing is take the plastic lids off and just put the glass in. Again, if you can make the effort to remove the label, that would be great. This is a really good glass jar, so I'm going to reuse it. You've also got these bottles, like the sauce bottles. Again, I'll take the label off because the label is actually plastic, and then I'll remove the lid and either give it to a school or it goes in landfill, sadly. And then this little plastic cap, you want to rip that off as well. You've also got lids, tin lids for glass jars and bottles. Say you break a bottle or a glass jar and you can't use the lid, that one's stuck in there, you can take these off and these will go in the tin and aluminium section. I'm going to show you a couple of things. Things like these packages that electronic stuff come in. You need to really rethink the way that you throw these out. Normally you probably just throw it out in landfill or put it in recycling, hoping that it's getting recycled. But you got to really think about it and break it down. For example, this has plastic in it, so the plastic won't be recycled. So you got to pull that out. That's going to go to landfill. Though some plastics are hard plastic and PVC, which means it can get recycled, but you need to do your research. So now, once we pull out those two, we now have, and the little tab on the top, we now have a cardboard sheet that can actually be recycled. So just put a little bit more time and effort into any of these type of items. I also wanted to show you these bags. We get these bags for our blueberries when they're out of season from a local company, and instead of throwing them away, we actually keep the bags, and now once we've washed them out and dried them, they are going to become so for example, if my husband wants to get any meat or anything from the market, we get them put in this. You go to the deli, it gets put in this. Reuse. It's one of the best ways to reduce waste. And then in the on season, we're actually going to go to this berry company and ask them for their seconds berries so we can freeze them in these bags ourselves. Now I'm going to take you through one of my clients. She brought in a bag of clean recycling and she wasn't sure what to do with, and so I thought I'd take you through it and just show you yes, no, what's recyclable. No, landfill, but with a container that's so big, I'm sure you can find something to reuse it as, even a food container. No, but again, another handy thing to use. You can literally wash it out and use it for spraying, whether it's cleaning. No, landfill, yes. Again, you can take that lid off, that goes in aluminium, and glass can be recycled. Tetra packs like this, anything that have had milk in it, have a plastic lining, none of those are recycled. They all go to landfill, unless you find a specific drop-off. Toilet roll, yes. Use these for seedlings. Cans, definitely. Trays from the biscuit pack, no. Meat trays, no. Remember, all of this in Australia is pretty much just being sorted, but it can't be sent overseas, and we don't have the processing centres to process them. A perfectly good glass jar. I'm going to wash this and keep it for something. Egg cartons. Now, I believe that egg cartons can be recycled, but I'm super wary. I actually pull off the labels because sometimes they kind of feel like they've got a plastic coating on them, and that way they'll actually be recycled. The other thing too is if you have a composting system, rip the labels off, shred them up. It's great brown matter for your compost. Soft plastic with a foil. I don't think these can be recycled. From what I've heard, it needs to be like just a plastic packaging. So any of those biscuit or chip packets, landfill. Chocolate, landfill. Ah, cardboard. This is good. That can be recycled. I can't believe this is a client's garbage bin. Recyclable. And letters, this is a good one. Letters, because you see that little plastic window, that needs to be removed for this paper to be recycled. I hope that's given you a bit of an insight into how to recycle your materials at home. If you have any questions, comment on the video below, and remember, reduce, reuse, then recycle.